Greetings, programs. Welcome to Hydaelyn's Heroes, the Final Fantasy XIV podcast. Whether you're a warrior of light or a warrior of darkness, all are welcome on the star we call home. We've been gone for a little bit, like a month. Has it been a month, Piers, since we've chatted like this?
I feel like it hasn't been a month, but it's been a long time.
Well, we had a live letter about 2 weeks ago, so we're a little late on that. But hey, we're here. We're going to talk about it today. There's a lot to get into, so let's dive into that. Let me set down my controller here because I was getting the Pokemon going, and you got to get those shinies, you know. So we got our own little shiny here. He is my co-host. He is the Barrett to my Cloud Strife, the one and only Mr. Piers Harvey. How you doing, sir?
Doing all right, man. It's been a while, but I'm happy to be back and happy to be discussing this live letter. There's definitely a lot to discuss here and some really exciting stuff that's coming in the future. So
Hells yeah. Well, we did talk together when we were both on the Relic Grind podcast, so that was fun. How did you enjoy that experience?
That was a lot of fun. Yeah. I definitely had a really good time doing that. And I would definitely do it again if they ever need an extra body. So
awesome. All right, let's get right into it. Live letter 74 was 2 weeks ago. We're gonna dive right into it. The first thing was, of course, the title, our reveal of when it's coming out, and we got God's Revel, Lands Tremble coming out early January. Now, when I first thought of this, I was like, "Oh, cool, Susanna's back. The Lord of Revel's back, right? Yeah."
Sure. Yeah. If that's what you want to. No, I immediately went to, because obviously the 24 man, right? They're theming this patch on the 24 man. So, should be a lot of fun though.
So we got the 24 man. We pretty much know that's going to happen early January. I'm pegging it at January 10th. I think Yoshi P said January 3rd was probably, while it's technically possible, I don't think it's going to happen. So January 10th is my date for that. What do you think about that?
Yeah, that sounds about right. Either that or the week after, I guess. I mean, probably the 10th. I think you're probably right when you say that. So
okay, and that gives us enough to get best in slot, right?
Yes, hopefully.
we got 2 weeks. We finally cleared Savage tier. Finally. God, this tier has been such a pain in the butt, both for internet and for dealing with outside issues. It's been a rough ride this tier, but we finally got it done. So I'm totally stoked about that and getting the gear and being ready for the next Ultimate, which was announced with this live letter. I'm so stoked that they're officially gonna I'll release that, but we'll get into that later. I know that you're not too keen on an Ultimate being released with this next patch.
I like doing my ultimates, but they take a lot of my time, and with me doing this whole school thing, it's going to be really hard for me to try to manage my time here. But it's always a good time. I just kind of wish they would push it back to the 0.5 patch, because it gives people something to do in between the 0.5 patch and the new expansion. So that's personally what I would prefer, but if they want to do it on the 0.3, I guess I gotta kind of get my button gear and figure out how I'm going to schedule this thing, because I'm obviously going to have to do it. So
take a Tark with you. Take a Tark with you this time. Maybe we'll have our friend Mimi and Ultima with us too. Who knows? We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see.
Other stuff behind the issues with group stuff, but we won't get into that. So we're gonna go point by point how they released the live letter. First thing that came up, new MSQ. And as I put in our notes here, more zero, please. How do we think that this is gonna go?
I mean, obviously, it's one of the four fiends. I think it was Cognazzo who was going to try to stop us.
Yeah, it was kind of
whatever we're doing.
Yeah, it was kind of Golbez put Rubicante in charge, but Rubicante enlisted Cognazzo to join in.
Yes, so I'm assuming we're probably going to be either fighting Cognazzo or Rubicante. I mean, that's probably Cognazzo if it's going by, the stages of who the fiends we're fighting are going to be. Probably going to do Rubicante last, but who knows? Maybe we'll do him before we do Cognazzo. I think that would be an interesting
I'd be upset. I've said this before. I've said this before. Ruben Conte needs to be the last one. He's the not the leader. Golbez is the leader, but like he's the lieutenant in my opinion. Yes. And I feel like he needs to be the last one, and then maybe a Four Fiends fight at the end. We'll see.
That would be cool. Yeah, I guess we will see. But yeah, I think that's what we're expecting, right? Some sort of clashing with the next of the Four Fiends, and then I mean, doing some more stuff in the 13th, I'm assuming. So that's what I'm looking forward to.
With that, they did show some screenshots of the next dungeon. So kind of jumping ahead here. The next dungeon is going to be Lapis Manalis, and there's going to be snow. We haven't had a snow zone or a snow dungeon in quite a while. So absolutely thrilled with that. I do love the music they attached to snow zones like Snowcloak. That was so good music. It was awesome. The last snow dungeon we had was Dusk Vigil.
It's been a long time, but yeah, that sounds about right. Yeah.
And we had a snow zone with Garlemald, so that was nice. But yeah, having a snow dungeon, something we're going to play in over and over and over again for 8 to 9 months. I'll take it. Back to the points though. They also said that Tataro's Grand Endeavor is coming out. Looks like she's going to be in Kugane or the Ruby Sea, so or diving into Stormblood with Tataru. I am not doing Tataro's Grand Endeavor until the whole thing's out at this point.
Yeah, that makes sense. I've only done the first portion of it, and I've kind of even forgot it existed. So I should probably catch up on it, but I mean, maybe like you, I'll just wait until more of it comes out so I can get a bigger.
Yeah, because they've been just doing one quest at a time, so it's like, okay, you rush and you do it, and then it's done after like 15-20 minutes. So it's like, okay, thanks. So I kind of want a meaty portion. I figure by the end of this, we'll have the full scope of what she's doing and maybe some cool rewards, and it'll be a good adventure at that point, instead of this little piecemeal quest at a time. I don't know why they're doing it that way. Any idea why they're doing it that way? Why?
It's probably just to keep, quote unquote, keep excitement or interest in it. So like, there's always something new and fresh to do every patch. I don't know. I have no idea why they're doing what they do.
Maybe they're trying to keep Totaro in the forefront of our mind because she's going to be a big baddie for 7.0.
Sure, dude. Yeah, the main villain.
Next up, Tales of Newfound Adventure, the Hectites Return, which we kind of expected with we're going to get, another Four Fiend. We're going to dive into that person's background, and I'm liking this piece of lore. This is good stuff.
Yeah, that was probably the most interesting part of last MSQ was that little side mission that we got with the Hectites and learning about Scarmiglione and Barbaricia and their kind of backstories and how they became who they were when we fought them. So I am super duper excited to see what else we learn about the Four Fiends. So yeah, that's really exciting that they're continuing with that. So
of the two stories we had, because they're both pretty dark, for both Barbaricia and Scarmiglione, which do you feel was currently your favorite of the two?
Probably Barbaricia. I like that story. I like the story of the caged canary who just decided to go crazy when she got some freedom. I think that's really interesting. So
when you have solitude like that, your mind goes woohoo, bye bye.
Yeah.
Next up, we're getting more Hildy. Awesome. I'm always down for a little bit more comedic side to Final Fantasy XIV, so that's going to be awesome. And tied with that, new Manderville weapons. This is going to be an important step for Manderville weapons because it's not just the buy-in phase. We're going to actually probably have a grinding phase.
Yeah, probably a grinding phase and hopefully some interesting particle effects on the weapons that we have currently.
Yes,
so that's something to look forward to. And yeah, hopefully there is a bit of a time sink with this next one because, I mean, farming tomestones isn't that hard and it's kind of boring. So maybe a little bit something more, quote, interesting, unquote, for us to do is due. So, yeah.
Yeah, so we don't have, the zone to tie all this in like we did with Zadnor and Boston Southern Front. So this is all going to be old content probably that we're going to be diving into, unless they tie it to like Deep Dungeon, which I don't see happening. But what content would you like to see rear its ugly, not so ugly head?
That is a good question. I'm not sure. I mean, they did incorporate the Deep Dungeon into the last relic weapons.
Yeah.
So,
Well,
I mean, but
as
it was an
a
optional
side, right?
thing.
Yeah, side
Yeah,
optional.
it was an optional thing. So maybe that. I just like doing dailies. You know, something like that. That's I don't know. Yeah. What would you like though? I'm curious. Do you have any ideas?
I was like going back doing normal raids of the old content.
Okay.
That was a fun step in the last one as an alternative to Boaster Zadnor. That's where I'm like, I don't know, what they're gonna do, because we had two paths with the last relics. You could stick to the Bojo or Zadnor and Deliberum path, or you could go, totally old school, Deep Dungeon, new raids, fates. That's what I'm afraid they're gonna do for the first time. They're gonna do a fate grind, which is gonna just be like, bah.
Yeah, that would be pretty. I mean,
break out your blue mages, friends.
Yeah, with the introduction of well, I guess it depends on what zones we'd be having to fake grind in, because at least you could get bicolored gemstones in some of the areas. But if they're going to make us go all the way back to like Stormblood but before that, then that's going to be pretty brutal. And hopefully they don't do that, but I guess we'll see. Yeah.
Lich in the chat says he thinks that they're honestly going to go the way of Heaven's Ward, kind of diversify and maybe buy materials. I
liked Heaven's Word because it was very diversified. Not only was it battle class stuff you could do, but you could also gather for your relic. You could craft for your relic. There was a lot of stuff you could do. So it would be cool if they did something like that, where you could kind of diversify the resources that you would have to acquire. I think that would be really interesting.
But by and large, whether it's Fates or Deep Dungeon or Crafting Gathering, we're gonna do it, right? I mean, we're not gonna do it.
Yeah, I mean, I always do a relic, at least one or two. I usually do like 2 or 3. So I'm obviously going to be doing it. It's just what we're going to be grinding. I guess it would be cool if it was more engaging than something like an old school fake grind, but whatever.
Did you have I had a fondness for the books back in the day, back in the Realm Reborn. And those books had a lot of various stuff. You had to do some fates, you had to do some dungeons. Raiding wasn't one of the things, but there was a bunch of different stuff. They had I had 10 different monsters. You had to get 10 kills of each, something like that. I would love to see something like that come back this time around. Yeah.
That would be cool. We have kind of something like that now with Wondrous Tales, right? Where they give you a bunch of different stuff you can go do. But I think incorporating something like that into the relic weapon would be really cool, because it gives you goals, right? Like you can look at what you have to do and be like, okay, I'm going to shoot for this today, and then maybe I'll do something like that tomorrow or something. I like that a lot. So if they brought back the book thing, I would be totally down for that.
Piers Fishy in chat said, waiting for Fates with a Realm Reborn relics. Yes, that would probably be the worst. Fates being, the worst of the worst would be waiting for a random drop from your Fates instead of just, that would...
the Atma step for the Atma step first came out, because I know they buffed the drop rate of it, but the Atma drop rates were so dog crap that it was miserable back in 2.0. And at least with the books, like there were fates you had to do, but like they were pretty common fates, and like I would just like pop into the zone every once in a while and be like, "Ooh, is it up? Nope. Okay, I'm gonna go do something else," and then I would just come back, So
that's where I like the books. Just as I remember talking to Mike Byrne when this was happening, the Atma step, and he spent like 6 hours grinding fates in Eastern Thanalan. And I was like, all right, I'm going to come to East of Thanalan, join them, and, sharing the misery. And I got the lion, I think it was lion drop on that after my second fate. And I'm like, well, I'm done here. Bye.
Yep.
He's a son of a...
Some people just have all the luck, man.
Good times. I think my hang up was Outer Lenosha. Like, That was just a chore.
Yeah.
But everyone had at least one probably on that.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Tribal Quest, new Tribal Quest coming in 6.35. We got the crafting finally this time. This is going to be with the Loporits. I don't think anybody didn't see this coming. Foxconn, though, made mention that he calls the bunnies his friends. Yoshi P doubted the distinction, referencing his cosplay from last time, which was quite scary. This is going to wrap it up. This will be our last tribe for the expansion. Are we happy to see? Because I don't think you've gotten your crafting all up to 90 yet, have you? Have you been waiting for this?
Yeah, I have been waiting for this. Well, number one, I've been lazy about my crafters. Let's not. There's plenty of times that I could just go and grind it out because it doesn't take long to do. If you have some extra cash to spend, you can do a crafter really fast. But I have just been lazy about it. But this will give me a reason to level up my crafters. Maybe I can at least level some up now before the Loporits and then do like Culinarian and Alchemist last, because those are the ones I don't really met, because like potions and food or whatever, I'll buy those off the market board, but I like to be able to craft my own gear at least. But
well, you're way behind then.
I'm super behind. But I did this with the Omicrons. I did not level any of my gatherers, and I got my miner is 90 now. My botanist is I think 83 or 84. So I'll be doing the same thing with the Loporits here, and just going through and getting my crafters leveled up. So while also earning some rep and earning some tokens and currency and stuff. So yep, looking forward to it. So
all of my crafters though are 90. All my gatherers are 90. And that was because I like to do one set of leaves each tier, so like the 80 leaves and then 82 leaves and then 84 leaves, just one set. And then I alternated that with doing Studium because they are such a good chunk of XP.
It's pretty big. Yeah.
And then I wanted to get my crafting scripts up, so I then when something was falling behind with the leaves and the Studium, I did the custom deliveries for the week. So with that, all of my stuff's now 90. So this is just kind of story fluff, get a minion, get a mount. Of course, I'm still behind. I'm still doing Shadowbringers tribal daily. So once those are done, then we'll start working on the new stuff. So, but yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I'm wondering what we're going to have for a mount and what we're going to have for minion. Can we have a baby Loporit minion?
Possibly. Wind up Loporit, I suppose. I mean, I guess we already have the Namingway minion, but I think you got that from like an art book or something. Or
yeah.
Yeah.
Any idea what the mount could be? Maybe just a giant carrot?
Could be a giant. I would not put it past the stupid bunny things to give us a carrot mount, but I guess we'll have to see. I don't know. Hopefully the story isn't too goofy, because I don't know. I know you haven't done the Omicrons yet, but the Omicron story is really good, and it's like really heartfelt. And anything that happens in Ultima Thule is going to be like a gut puncher. So I don't know. I guess they could kind of go goofy with the Loporits to kind of bring it down from the Omicrons. They kind of did that with like the dwarves, right? Where the dwarves are kind of the goofy, kind of comical.
I love the tank building story though. That's a good story.
Yeah. Even then it was goofy, but it was still good. Like I still enjoyed it. So hopefully they can manage something like that with the Loporits. But yeah,
Piers Fishy agrees with me, so I'm completely 100% correct. It's going to be a carrot.
Okay, all right. Let's hopefully it's an 8-seater carrot, so it's just a really long one. Everybody can hop on and fly around on a giant carrot. I don't know. Yeah. I kind of hate it, but
with all the different colors and flavors of carrots, maybe it's a rainbow carrot.
Yeah, could be. Yeah, shining rainbow carrot. Yes.
We are going to have a new trial and a new extreme, and the reveal to us, the boss will be
yeah, that's crazy. Really?
Oh,
that one?
So good.
That's nuts.
Yes.
Wow. I can't believe they're doing that.
They redacted it. They didn't show us. They're not going to spoil the story, which fine, be that way. I did enjoy Barbaricia's both the normal mode and the extreme. I'm hoping that this is on that same level. Any choices? Would you rather see one versus the other? Because we know it's going to be a Forfein.
Yeah, like you said, I think Cagnazzo would be the way to go. I think saving Rubicante for last, or maybe Golbez for last, whatever. Saving him for the last of the 4 fiends, I think is the way to go. So look forward to water theme. I don't know if it's going to be as crazy and hectic as Barbarisha, because I think they kind of wanted to lean into that aspect of the trial where it was just kind of like a dodge fest. So maybe there'll be some more like actual
craziness of wind, just everything's going on.
Yeah. So maybe we'll see something more.
Water and ice is a little bit more slow and methodical, maybe.
Yeah, maybe some more of a dance than it is like a crazy hectic running around. But I guess we'll have to see what happens. But yeah, that's what I'm expecting. Is probably Cognyazo. So. All
right. New and real. This is something we like to do every week. While I've enjoyed Sephiroth, actually, I thought it was going to be a complete shit show. And sometimes it is. I've really enjoyed having Sephiroth come back, but we're going to have a new and real, and Sophia makes her return. I'm stoked. I love Sophia. Not so much the ad phase, but it's just kind of a constant hit, and you're always trying to remember. And the take busters are pretty mean. The AoE is pretty mean, and then the fact that you got an arena that has you bouncing back and forth and near, far, counting the comets, all that fun stuff. You've been a fan of Sophia, right? This is one that you kind of learned from scratch back in the day, right?
Yeah. I know Ultimate told you that story, but back in Heavensward, when Heavensward first came out, we did do Bismarck and Ravana EX. We did that pretty quickly, and then we farmed that pretty good. But I completely skipped over both Thornton EX and Sephiroth EX. I just didn't do any raiding at all. That included Extreme Trials. So Sophia came around, and Ultima and I were like, we are going to smash this Extreme Trial. We're just going to do it because we've been skipping out. We're going to do it this time. And so yeah, we not only went in through Party Finder, but we also went into actually using Raid Finder to learn and then farm this trial, and we had a lot of success, believe it or not. I think Raid Trial was pretty new at this time, so yes. He and I have very fond memories of Sophia. So to be able to go back and kind of relive that era of our Final Fantasy XIV journey is going to be very exciting. So while Sephiroth has been a lot of fun, and it has been a crap show, it has been a fun crap show, I think Sophia is going to be a little bit easier, but a lot of fun. So I'm looking forward to it.
One thing I think has been fun with doing Unreals with you is letting you flex and do some tanking. That's trying to keep you alive and being a little upset when things don't necessarily go right.
It is what it is. No, I've had a lot of fun tanking. I don't know if I'm going to tank in Sophia because I did it as a DPS, and I don't know what the tank mechanics are. The reason I did Sephiroth is because tanking on Sephiroth is very, very easy. It's probably the easiest thing out of any of the roles, even easier than DPS in my opinion. But I think that Sophia's a little bit more involved, but maybe with my tanking prowess that I've learned, maybe I can go in on as a tank, but we'll have to see. I'll have to kind of touch and go with it and see how I feel. But
hey, maybe next expansion you switch to tank main, and we got to find a DPS.
I was thinking about offering to be the warrior for our raid group, but I know Ecto was around and he offered. But I was considering, if you didn't want to do it, I was considering going warrior for the group. But maybe we'll have to see.
All right. Next up, new 24-man. This is Alliance raid, so 3 groups of 8. We continue along the Mists of the Realm storyline. This one called Euphrosyne.
Euphrosyne? Yeah, I guess like Euphoria, but with scene on it back. I don't know. Euphrosyne, sure. Kind of doesn't roll off the tongue like Aglaya, but whatever.
Word on that. Okay. But with that, some people were speculating with the first one being called Aglaya. Now this one being called Euphrosyne. This all ties into kind of Greek mythology. Square Enix loves to do that. So the last one has to be called Thalia, because Aglaya, Euphrosyne, and Thalia were the 3 charities or the 3 graces in Greek mythology. So I think we've officially got our third 24-man named. I think this is pretty cool. I love ties into Greek mythology. It's one of my favorites of all the mythologies. How about you?
Yeah. I didn't know that this had any tie to Greek mythology, so even learning this now has got me even more excited. So, and yeah, obviously you can tell that the 12 kind of has like a Greek kind of feel to it. Like the gods are kind of Greek feeling. So yeah,
I mean, Byra got right off the bat, man. He's got the robe and kind of the little
yeah. Kind of got like
leafy crown thing. So
Zeus or like
yes,
a Hephaestus kind of thing going on or something. Even though we fight whatever, you know what I mean.
A lot of Greek stuff going on here. Yeah.
Yes. But that's cool. Yeah, that's awesome.
So what of the next four gods of the 12 are you hoping to see here?
I know a lot of people want to see Hydaelyn. I know a lot of people want Hydaelyn to step on them, whatever. I get it. I guess I would like to see Hydaelyn. That would be cool. She's the ice one. I'm not sure who the other ice... I'm not super familiar with the 13th. Besides Thaliak, that's my patron for Piers, is Thaliak. So that'd be cool to see Thaliak. But yeah, I guess I'll go with the flow and say Hydaelyn. Sure, let's see Hydaelyn. I think that'd be a really cool fight. Ice. Spears. She's like kind of like the warrior goddess, the Valkyrie kind of thing going on. Yeah. So I'd be down for that.
Okay, so maybe this will be easier. What elements would you prefer to see? Because we had both the astral and umbral of fire and lightning last time. Yes. So
I guess with Hydaelyn it'd be ice and maybe what would go with ice? Nice. Maybe earth or wind.
Ice and wind, and then water and earth.
Yeah,
I could see that. I was shocked that fire and lightning were the first ones to come off the docket last time.
Yeah, especially because those are some of the most recognizable, kind of not the most recognizable gods, but like obviously with Ralgr, he was super recognizable because Ralgr's reach, right?
Sure.
But
Nalthal.
Yeah, I mean. Nalthal, like I was familiar with it because I'm from Ul'dah too, so I guess for me, like that, I was really familiar with a lot of those gods. So, but yeah.
Okay, all right, cool. Yeah. I'm just hoping that the gear looks good. I really liked the glamour gears, and I say glamour gears because by the time it comes out, like that gear is really past progression. Unless
if you're rating, yes. If you're not rating, then yeah, it's some good makeup stuff.
But even then,
you're getting a weekly twine and a coating, so you will eventually outgear the. But yeah, it is basically glamour gear, and they did a really good job with Aglaia. So I think they'll probably keep the pattern going with Euphrosyne. But
all right, cool beans. New Ultimate, which will release 2 weeks after 6.3. We pretty much know it's not going to be the Warring Triad because we got Sephiroth, we got Sophia coming for Unreals. They're not going to double down on raid bosses with an ultimate when Unreals are going on. So we've got to move on to Stormblood stuff, right? 4 Lords, Omega. What's your guess on the next ultimate?
I honestly, I know we've had this discussion, but I don't know. I think Omega would be cool. If I were to ask for one, I think Omega would be cool with like the end bosses of all of the Omega raids being kind of the encounters that you do. But I don't know. I'm not sure. Yeah, Ultimate Cape Westwind. Let's do that.
So yeah, Yoshi P was looking at the chat when they're talking about the Ultimate. He saw people wanting Ultimate Cape Westwind or Tatara Ultimate and notating how many clones would she have to make that a real fight. Yeah, a lot, and it would be scary. It would be scary.
I mean, they could do something with the Garlean like dudes from 2.0. Like they could do like Ritaten and like Gaius and Nero and who's the chick? I always forget her name. Livia. Yeah, they could do something like that, but then they're just like kind of human-sized things, and like I don't know if you could do an entire ultimate around like just little tiny human characters that you have to beat, and you know they have to go big and bombastic, and I'm not sure. And we've already done the ultimate weapon, so it's not like Gaius can hop in the ultimate weapon as the last boss, right? So I mean, they could do something like that, but I don't think they will. So
they could do, you know, Nero, Livia, Ritaten, and Gaius, and then kind of have multiple phases where, and this is me being, you know, I dev on my spare time, where they, you know, jump in. They have a phase where they jump into their Magitech Reapers, so they each got a Magitech Reaper, and then those 4 then could join up to be like a, you know, Voltron But we kind of
Yeah,
did that with Alexander, right?
with
So
Alexander. Yeah.
would you really dip into that well twice so soon?
Yeah, I don't think so. Ultimately, I think ultimately, no pun intended, I think it's probably going to be Omega or I guess the Four Lords. Though I don't think. I guess they have done primals before with the with Ultimate Weapon. So yeah, I don't know. I'm interested. I don't think they've even like hinted at what it could be, right? So it could be anything.
And we kind of discussed this before. If it's Omega, I better see hello Grand Cross Forsaken World.
Obviously.
The big moves off of each of those three end bosses. But my thought was, if they go for Lords, there's an obvious, end phase. Because we had the Four Lords. Genbu was a dungeon boss, but we had the Four Lords. But at the end of it, we didn't actually face the last boss, which was Koryu.
Yeah.
So I think that would be an interesting ultimate, face a boss that we never actually had to face before. So you're not having to reuse mechanics at all or iterate on them. You could do something completely fresh and new. And yeah, it's just something that everyone has to figure out. It's not you can't take from any other boss fight. Well, you can always take from another boss fight, but you got no reference point for Koryu because he's something we've never faced. What are your thoughts on that?
That could be cool. Maybe I feel like it'd be too close to Uwu, but like doing something in each of the Four Lords fights where we like awaken their Aramitama, and then at the end, like Koryu takes all of the Aramitama and becomes like, kind of what we were trying to stop at it during the Four Lords thing, and he becomes like an actual entity, and we have to face him, and that could be pretty epic, actually. Now that I think about it, so. Yeah, that gets me excited. If it is the Four Lords, that actually makes me more excited to do something like that. So,
all right, so we're both excited for Four Lords. Yoshi P, make it happen. If it's already Omega, scrap it and redo it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's not happening. And push it back to 6.5.
Yes, well, yeah, you can do that, please. They're not going to, but please do that anyway.
All right, Deep Dungeon returns. Eureka Orthos, which has a distinct Allegan vibe. I'm feeling that this is gonna tie into the Crystal Tower, with them having two requirements. You have to complete Endwalker, because it's gonna be you're gonna level your characters. You can level your characters from 80 all the way up to 90 with it, or 80 to 90. But then you also have to have the first 50 floors of Palace of the Dead. So I'm wondering if there's going to be a story connection there, which also then leads me to believe that this is going to be based in A Realm Reborn areas, more specifically maybe underneath the Crystal Tower, because I'm not sure if you know, but the original Eureka for Final Fantasy was actually an area beneath the Crystal Tower in Final Fantasy 3.
Yeah, now that you say that, that makes a lot of sense, because they clearly don't need you to do any of the Eureka storyline from Stormblood to be able to do this. So yeah, that actually makes sense, because it is Allegan theme. Obviously, Crystal Tower's Allegan, and then it was underneath the Crystal Tower in 3. So yeah, okay, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Yeah,
you stoked for Palace of the Dead or Palace of the Dead? I'm sorry. Eureka Orthos?
Deep Dungeon. Yes, Deep Dungeon? I am excited for Deep Dungeon. I am very excited to get it done. I'm excited to climb all the way to the top with a group of 4 people. So, well, I guess 3 people plus myself. So
that's still a group of 4 people.
It is a group of 4 people. Yes, you're right.
You're just one of the 4.
I am just one of the 4.
I've never been a big Deep Dungeon person, mainly because I don't care about doing it solo. Like the Necromancer title just doesn't really appeal to me. Mm-hmm. Just the same way that, just the title for getting Criterion Savage done doesn't necessarily appeal to me. Like, if our group wants to do it, then awesome, I'll go with you guys and we'll try to nail that down. But just the title doesn't excite me. I don't know what it is.
I think a title's enough. It's just, it's such a challenge, and it's such a time sink that, like, that's what scares me about it, is that I don't want to waste like 4 or 5 hours of my day just to get to floor 190 and die. So it's pretty tough. But Heaven on High was a lot easier to do solo, and hopefully they kind of keep the theme going with this new one where it's not as hard as the Necromancer. I wonder if they're just going to do 100 floors like they did with Heaven on High.
I think so.
But I guess we'll have to see.
So. I'm betting it's just going to be 100 floors. First 50 to get you from 81 to 90, and then filler stuff. The main bulk of the story is 1 through 50 anyway. So that's what the way it was with Heaven on High, right? I didn't really do it, so that's like I don't know.
Yes, no, you're right. Yeah, that makes sense.
Duty support for the remaining Heaven's Ward MSQ dungeons. That includes Great Global Library, Etherochemical Research Facility, Antitower, Sorkai, Zephaltal, and Belsar's Wall. Yeah. Does this make you want to go back and do them, or is it just good that someone can solo from one all the way through the end of Heaven's Ward and not have to really interact with anybody ever?
I would like to go back and do these. I don't think I'm ever going to, but there's a part of me that does, just to see the interaction with the NPCs and all of the situations that we put them in these dungeons. But I don't know if I could ever bring myself to. I guess if I'm super duper bored and I have a lot of free time on my hands, I'll do it, but I'm not sure. But I'm glad that they're giving the solo players out there a chance to get these done. That's super cool. So
awesome. Apparently Aether Research Facility is getting a little bit of an update. They kind of mentioned the third boss maybe needing a little tweak, and that was Ascian Prime, if I'm recalling correctly. Was there anything there that really... Was that such a difficult issue that they need to do a rework on that? I thought the fight was awesome.
It wasn't difficult, no. I mean, you fight La Habrea and Igiorm first, so maybe like they'll cut that out or something. I don't know. I'm not sure what they'll do, but... I just remember that fight being okay. Going into a portal before you get like status debuffed was annoying if somebody's going to the portal you were going into, but that's it. That's the only annoying part of that fight I remember. But
okay. And maybe the portals, and did you guys was there element swapping with that one too? Like you had to fire and you can only hit ice? Because I know that was part of... Okay, so that's just Hades that I'm thinking of. Okay. Next up, they talked about job adjustments. They said no overall changes whatsoever. And then they backtracked. Oh yeah, Paladin. Paladin's going to get a whole rotation change. I'm expecting to see a 1 minute, 2 minute window thing with Paladin, kind of like all the other jobs. Is that what you're kind of thinking as well?
Probably. Yeah, they're probably going to make it more in line, which is a shame because I know a lot of Paladins out there like Paladin because its rotation is so unique and a lot of people gel with it. So I don't know if it's going to kind of take away from the identity of Paladin a little bit, but I guess we'll have to see what they do. They've been okay with their reworks, so I trust in Square Enix, but all those Paladin mains out there, just kind of hold your butts and see what happens. But
the one thing that I fear is like forcing the rotation, like you have to use fight or flight or the magic one to unlock the opposite, which would force a rotation.
Yeah, they could do that.
Kind of like summoner, I guess. You have to use Bahamut, then you can use so yeah, they could do that. I just hope they don't screw Paladin, that if you have a death they're just absolutely wrecked until their rotation comes back up. So that's my thing. But I mean, this is the way Square's doing this. Like everyone's getting this window, except for the healers. They just kind of go as they go unless you got buffs. It's just something we got to deal with. Are you for or against the whole 2 minute window homogenization, I should say?
I don't know if I have a huge opinion on it. I like it because it kind of forces my brain to, think about bursting at 2 minutes, and it kind of makes a lot of jobs. It makes a lot of jobs feel the same, which is bad. I don't like the homogeneity of it, but it also kind of like when I swap to a different job, I know that I'll be bursting every 60 seconds or 2 minutes, right? Like, so it's not like I have to readjust my thought process when I play a certain job. It's like I always know that I have to build my resources and then I go off at 2 minutes. So I guess I like that aspect of it, but at the same time, I don't like the homogeneity, and I would like some jobs to feel different instead of all feeling the same. But
Well, you could play a green TPS. You could play a green TPS, and there you go.
Yeah, I could.
I wish I had a 2-minute window. Can you please reduce phlegma to 40-second cooldown? Appreciate it. Thank you. I want 2 phlegmas every 2 minutes. Let's go. Anyways, so other than Paladin getting pretty much a complete rework, no big changes. There might be some potency here and there, but don't expect any other wholesale changes. Next up, they went into PvP updates. Standard stuff now. Season 5 is going to start with the patch. And then Series 3, that's the Battle Pass, will release. So if you haven't gotten what you want out of Series 2, make sure you get that done the next 2 months. I still need to get my minions and my mount. How you doing on your PvP?
I am nowhere even close. So
nowhere close.
We have a long time though, so we shouldn't rest on our laurels though. We shouldn't procrastinate, but yeah, we need to get that stuff done because I want that mount. So yeah,
minions are my primary goal. There's 2 of them. I'm like 2 ranks from him, both of them. So I just need to go in and do it. I just need to go do it.
Little baby cruise chasers, right?
Yes, little baby cruise chasers.
Yes,
one blue,
cool.
one red.
I want them. Yeah.
And with our primal data center, maybe I'll go in this weekend. We got some rival wings going on the weekend, so dive into that, huh? New Crystalline Conflict Arena. It's going to be in Kugane, which is awesome. I love that aesthetic. Any idea what kind of mechanic they're gonna kind of shoehorn in there? Because with Cloud9 we had the wind. Everyone get launched in the air unless you did, something special. We had the Bomberman fireballs, and then we kind of had the base one where there was no mechanics. So they got to put something in there, right?
They do, yeah. I'm not sure what they could do. When I think Kugane, I automatically think like that rich guy who is the head of Kugane throwing coins. Maybe you got to collect coins.
He's actually in that arena. He oversees the Crystalline conflict fight.
So maybe, yeah, we have to like impress him or something, or like gather money for him. I feel like that's a little too much like the feast, right? Where you had to collect the coins or whatever. But I don't know. Maybe they could kind of bring a little bit of that old feast into this one. And maybe if you have coins, you take more damage or something. I don't know. There could be any number of stuff they could do. But
maybe there's a gold meter. And when you cap out your meter for your team, Yojimbo comes and stuns the other team for 5 seconds.
See? Yeah.
That'd be sick. I would love it. That would be cool. Like, I need to get these. I need to get these coins. They're going to be a tide turner. With that, Cloud9, it was marked that Cloud9 was not liked all that much. We'll see less playtime in the Crystalline Conflict rotation. And I put a little side note here. People don't like being forced to use defensive cooldowns to avoid being launched. I know I did.
I guess that makes sense. I really liked Cloud9. I liked Cloud9 a lot more than I liked the volcano map for sure. Yeah, I actually did like Cloud9 a lot, but yeah, I guess it does force people to use their shield, right? So
yeah, because only one person can get the feather if you take the launch in the air.
Yes.
So if you're not the person that gets that, you take a big hit when you come down.
Kind of screwed. Yeah, you take half your HP. So. And it can kill you. So, yeah, that's pretty brutal. So maybe that's why. And I understand that. But, yeah, I kind of liked it. Oh, well. I guess it's still going to be in the rotation. But I
personally enjoy Cloud9 myself as well. Just because I think that's a tide turner. If you get a couple people on the opposite team, that, they're wrecking you, but they forget to hit their cooldown or get into the launch to get the feather, like, hey, that's a tide turner, man. There's 2 people dead, and you can go on the offensive at that point.
Either they forget or you like CC them right before the thing and then they get screwed. Yeah, like there's a lot you could do with that. So glad it's still around, but understand why it's frustrating for some people.
Crafting and gathering content, I put in air quotes here. We're getting the tool enhancement quest in 6.35. So not only can you get a nice shiny relic weapon, you can get a nice shiny relic tool. Looks like we're going to see Geralt's alter ego in Shadowbringers, so reason to redo Shadowbringers content, or revisit characters and areas there. did you do much with Sky Steel? Steel Sky
If by much you mean
tools?
like 0%?
0%.
Yeah. I didn't do a single Sky tool, so I don't know if I'll be doing this one. I guess we'll see. I don't know. That whole thing was super complicated. Like, I didn't know when the what was it? It was the Ishgard restoration. When that came out, like I felt like the mechanics of it were too complicated, and I felt like the Sky tools were attached to that, and so I felt like it was this big thing that I had to like unreave, and I just couldn't wrap my brain around it, so I didn't interact with it, even though it was probably super easy, and I just was kind of scaring myself off it. But maybe I'll get into this one for once, because I've never done a crafter relic, so maybe I'll do it. Let's see.
I have to say, the ones that I've seen out there that people have done, they are pretty awesome.
They're dope.
Yeah, they're pretty shiny. They're good particle effects for crafting tools and gathering tools. That's awesome. We're gonna get a new custom delivery. Yoshi P says, I am sure none of you can guess who the next custom delivery will be, because it could be anybody. Yoshi P, like, it could be anybody. They've had someone in Yulmore in the honeybee inn, you know, be one of the custom delivery. Emeliance was the custom delivery, for crying out loud, and she has like nothing to do with crafting or gathering. So it's like, okay, so it could be anybody. I don't even have a thought of who I would like to see be a custom delivery, for crying out loud.
Hancock.
Hancock.
I'm dead ass. Like, I think that would be. I like the character of Hancock, and he's East Aldenar trading, and he interacts with Lolorito. I think it would just make sense. I don't know.
Yeah. But, well, we have one in the East, and that's Kuranai. I think that's it, right?
Yes, that's Kuranai. Yep.
Piers Fishy says agrees with you. Hancock makes sense as a custom delivery. Yeah, I actually agree with you. That actually makes a lot of sense. A lot of sense. So, and maybe with Tataru there, you know, she kind of leads you like, hey, by the way, here's your custom deliveries for this patch. So maybe there's a little tie in there. Yeah, I get them done because that's where you get a good grip of easy crafter scripts or gatherer scripts. So other than that, I don't really care.
Yeah, I like the custom deliveries. I did finish Emeliance, and I have not done the one before Emeliance, which was like Charlemagne or something like that.
Charlemagne,
the house. Is it
Desimel?
House Zymel, yeah, the head of that guy of that house. So I'm in the quest to unlock it. I just haven't finished it, so I need to do that. But I also need to do more Emeliance, because it's just crafting experience. It's super easy. So
super easy.
Whatever.
And you get 12 a week. So get those scripts. Have you gotten all your books?
I've not gotten every master. I'm close to getting all of them, but I need to. There's still a few more that I need. So,
all right. They also said there's going to be some quality of life, which is awesome for crafter gatherers. Collectability values will be displayed. This is more in line with the gathering collectability, because when you gather, you don't necessarily know what you gathered until you actually go into your inventory and look. So, I guess it'll be displayed right off the bat. You get to see the value. Primary fishing locations, preferred bait, and additional conditions will be adding to the fishing guide. So no more needing to go to an outside website to find out what you need to get a fish, right?
God, yes, I like this. This is a good quality of life. Please, more of this.
Because 3 expansions late, but I mean, it's good.
Yes. Yes, it is. Thank God. Because I would like to get into the fishing. I like the idea of fishing up the big fish, but having to go to a different website and, having to look through a bunch of pages to find what bait I'm supposed to use and what bait, what fish I'm supposed to mooch and all that stuff. It's like really annoying.
Mooching,
so if you can put that in the game,
time of day, weather,
yes. Yeah,
all that stuff. If it could be in the game, if it's in the game, it's in the game.
Yeah.
Right?
EA Sports, yes.
EA Sports. There is going to be a new spearfishing node. This one is really important because we actually get our first diving in a Realm Reborn zone where you get to go spearfishing Upper Lenosha. I'm totally stoked for this, man. You know, when they said that we were going to do fishing, you know, they weren't going to go back to, you know, Realm Reborn zones to update those. But the dev team, you know, Yoshi P's not pushing them to do this. The dev team's doing it themselves. They gave us flying when they said there weren't going to be flying in a Realm Reborn. Now we got diving in a Realm Reborn. So awesome. Cool. And
yeah, what is it? It's Camp Bronze Lake we'll be swimming in, right? So
yes.
or the Bronze Lake, or the lake with the big Nemean ruins in it.
Wanderer's Palace. Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, that's cool. I'm super stoked for that.
It is. The screenshot they showed, it's beautiful down there.
Mm-hmm.
It's absolutely beautiful down there. Pierce Fishy, thank you so much for the Prime sub. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Emotions right now. So yeah, what others Realm Reborn zones would you like to see a little bit of a diving and stuff going on?
Obviously, the very obvious one is Costa del
Sol.
Sol.
Yes.
Obvious, got to go swim with those big old sharks. What other areas have a lot of water in them? I guess.
Right.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I know there are zones, but I can't think of any off the top of my head. I guess a lot of Lenosian zones, maybe something like, you know, the oceans next to the Sahagin Beast tribe or something, you know, in Western Lenosha, or Ailport. You know, there's some places you can swim around there. That little island that you have to take the NPC to go to. I guess you can fly there now, but, you know, maybe there's some, you know, so you can do some swimming around there. I don't know.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, Lenosha has all the water because it's, you know, on an island and all. But Thanalan would be kind of hard. There is the river, but you can't really go down in Eastern Than. There is some ocean in Western Than.
There is.
Off of the Silver Bazaar. What about Gridania? Sand diving? Yeah, I don't think there's going to be sand diving.
That'd be hilarious, dude.
You can't see anything. It's just sand. You need a sand radar.
With the Black Shroud, I have no idea. I honestly don't. I was thinking like Camp Tranquil, but that's like a swamp. So there's like nothing. I don't know.
I guess there is Eastern Shroud. That area where you come from Gridania to Eastern Shroud via the Lancer teleport.
Oh, yes.
So there's a little bit of water there.
That's right.
There's some water in Northern Shroud, but not really diveable.
Mm-hmm. That's what I mean. Yeah, it's like all shallow stuff.
Korthus, there's some water there. Mordona, there's some water there.
Oh yeah.
So there's a couple places. Oh yeah, can we dive in Mordona off of Silvertail Lake? Oh, that would be sweet. I want to see what's down there. Come on, let's go.
So we're on the ruins of the Agrius or whatever it's called. The is it the Agrius? Yeah, the ship.
Agrius Midgar Sommer corpse.
Mm-hmm.
From there, they moved on from Quality of Life over to Island Sanctuary. This is going to be a minor update, which to me was a little bit surprising. I wasn't expecting anything until next patch. So to have something here in 6.3 is awesome. New ranks and visions, new item rewards, which you can purchase with your, what are they called again? I haven't done my Island Sanctuary in 2 weeks.
Calories.
Thank you. I haven't done my Island Sanctuary in 2 weeks.
Yeah, at least go feed your animals, dude, because they'll hate you. But
I made 300, so they're not gonna hate me for a month. But like, I'm capped out on all my leavings and all my plants right now, so I just need to go do it. But there's gonna be new materials, new crops, and by new materials, like to go gather. There's gonna be new materials to gather, new crops. Stuff to plant, new animals, and handicrafts. Awesome. It sounds like a full-fledged like update. I don't know how this is minor. Some of the new animals that you can tame and bring to your pasture. There's a griffin, there's a tiger, and a marble seedling.
Yeah, I want the marble, the little baby marble. Yeah.
These all seem like things that would decimate your pasture and your crops if left unattended, and they kind of hinted that that might be something that happens, but I'm kind of hoping that it's just a new animal. Like, I don't want to have to tend to them like that.
I mean, the Marlboro probably smells pretty bad too, but whatever.
Yeah.
It's
As long as it's in its own area of the pasture, I guess, you know.
yes.
Don't breathe on anything, little guy.
Yep.
New structures. We saw one that kind of looks like a theme park roller coaster. I don't know if you saw that screenshot. It looks pretty cool.
I don't think I saw that, but that's interesting.
It's a real small thing. But we need new plots then, right? Like,
yeah, they have to open up more of the workable area, I think, unless they really, now they wouldn't make us break down any of our stuff. So yeah, I don't know. They'd have to expand.
Because right now, I mean, if you got the otter fountain, you're not using one of your visions. So to add another vision, man, I just don't know. I wouldn't expect a land expansion until the next patch. So
I guess it would maybe be a landmark, right? Where you can, because landmarks don't really matter which one you have. So I guess if they just give us another landmark option, but
okay.
I don't know, that wouldn't be as exciting.
And you just have to choose, and then that's where you have diversity in your island sanctuaries from one person to another, because everyone's going to have probably 3 workshops, 2 granaries, and all the same. Unless you took the time to do a water otter fountain, everyone's going to have the same landmarks. So maybe this is a little bit of diversity with your landmarks, because you can't even place them in a different area. So
right.
Sometimes island sanctuary is just really weird to me. Like, it's supposed to be your own kind of unique space and your own island sanctuary, but everybody's island sanctuary is pretty much the same.
Pretty much the same, at least for right now. Maybe as the patch is coming, maybe they'll eventually make it so that it's more customizable, but I guess we'll have to see.
Piers Fishy asks, do you think they'll add more Mandragora mounts like we have the minions? Yes. And that might be some of the item rewards that they talked about. Maybe just one more mount. I want more minions because I'm a minion whore. Give me all the minions. What I really want is to have more minions on my island. That 40 cap for me sucks because I have 390 minions and only 40 of them can be out and about. So can we get that up to 60 now? 80? More the merrier. More the merrier. Some quality of life that we've been talking about is finally coming to the game. Improved workshop UI. So easier to see ups and downs of the market. Easier to sort, what you want to have done. Because right now it's pretty rudimentary with what you can do with the workshop UI. Options to collect all crops and leavings. Collect all button.
Good.
Greatest update to Island Sanctuary ever.
Yes.
Considering it's the first.
Absolutely. I'm glad they're doing that.
Grabbing a new animal will allow you to choose which animal to release, even if it is under minion care. That's cool. That's cool. Because I guess right now, if they're all under care and you snatched up a new animal, that new animal just goes away because I guess
you don't have, you can't release someone or one that's under care, I guess. So
okay, so that kind of sucks. So they're glad they're changing that. You can save your orchestrion settings. That's awesome because I want to come into my island sanctuary hearing Kaine. The fact that I have to reset that every single time upsets me.
And it's only you could it's only one song at a time too. Maybe they'll make it so that you can have like a playlist, like an actual orchestrion.
Yes,
that'd be cool. That. Yeah.
And then lastly, notifications when visitors arrive to your island. That's cool. I would love to know if my island gets visited. Right now, there's no reason for someone to visit another person's island because there's not much variety. But hey, awesome. Piers Fishy tried to catch an alligator. Forgot to take away a caretaker. Oh, rip you. Sad. I'm sorry, Piers Fishy. That's one of the rare ones too.
I'm sure she's got the gator. Maybe it was before, like, back in the day. You've got to have the gator by now, right?
Maybe she does. Maybe she doesn't. I don't know.
Guess we'll see.
We'll see. So yeah, all in all, some good minor. I mean, if this is a minor update to Island Sanctuary, I can't wait to see. What a major one is. Yes, yeah. I can't wait to see what a major one is. A whole new island. Did like all of a sudden the island expand in size just out of the blue? Right. Maybe some more underwater gathering. I don't know. Just give me more.
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe we can go underneath. Ooh, go underneath through the top of the top of the mountain, maybe, because we didn't really. There's not much on the mountain, so there's a couple nodes, but nothing crazy.
That is something. Yeah, that's something they could definitely do. Is expand, like make some caves in the mountain or something. Go explore in there.
The whole cave system. That'd be dope. Let's check some. There's me who hasn't touched island past visiting others. Aw, sad. But yeah, that's it for Island Sanctuary. Good stuff. I'm looking forward to it. Treasure map update. We are getting a new treasure map. This one is going to be Elpis centric. So if you get an Elpis map, you have a chance to get a new. It's not going to be the Excitotron 6000. It's its own unique extra. What is that called? Portal? Treasure portal?
Yeah, a portal.
Okay. And that's going to be for Elpis only, which kind of makes sense because it's in another time. Like, why would the Excitotron exist in the Elpis portals?
I guess that does make sense, but it would be annoying to open up a map, not see that you see that you're not in Elpis and be like, well, I guess I'm just getting Excitotron. Rolls eyes. I don't know. It's kind of annoying, but it makes sense from the lore standpoint. I get it, but
I guess the bad part would be if they restrict the new items that comes with these treasure portals to the new ones. So if it's in all of them, then it doesn't really matter. It's just a different experience, but then, right?
At the same point, though, there are treasure maps in Elpis now, though, right? Or are there not?
I don't think so.
There might not be.
I mean, I think there are there might be treasure maps, but there's no portals that you can get from them. Again, if anybody in the chat knows about treasure maps more than apparently Piers and I do, let us know.
I feel like maybe there might not be any maps at all in Elpis now that I think about it.
I've done, that the one time we did with our raid group, we did Excitotron. That was the only time I did it. That's it.
Because it wouldn't make sense that if you were in Elpis and you did a treasure map that you would get teleported to Excitotron, right? So, yeah, whatever. I guess we'll see. But
chat is saying and confirming that there are currently no maps for Elpis. So,
all right,
there we go. Enough. Now we have maps for Elpis. It's going to have its own treasure portals. So, yeah, as long as they don't have unique items to specifically those maps, I don't really feel bad about it because then it's just about diversifying the experience.
Yes. Yeah.
So. Gold Saucer gets a new leap of faith. This is awesome. I am down for that. I like doing a little leap of faith here and there. I do really appreciate the wall version versus the one over Camp Bronze Lake. What do you think they'll do though?
They've not said anything about it.
They just said it was a new one.
It could be anything. I have no idea.
It could be anything.
It could literally be anything.
Yeah. I mean, what's up in the clouds for crying out loud? So, I mean, yeah.
Maybe something in the diadem or something, bro. I mean, I guess they could. But
there you go.
They fall down to your death. If
leap of faith. Leap of faith in the first is what chat is saying.
Could be.
That'd be sick. But yeah, I'm not a big fan of the one over Camp Bronze Lake. I like the seeing down there, but I have such a fear of heights. Like it kind of gives me a little bit of vertigo just playing it.
Yes. Yeah, I can understand that.
Whereas the one that's attached to the wall, I have a little bit more fun, and I time to time trial it. I don't know. Maybe it's an issue where, you know, when you fall down, you could fall down on a previous one. When you fall down on the one in the sky, you're all the way back at the beginning. You're all the way at the back at the beginning. So
that's true.
Maybe that's part of it. You're a big puzzle jumper guy, though, right? You like the puzzle jumps.
I love jumping puzzles, so I'm down. I'm down for this.
I still have not got the summer one done. So maybe the next time it comes around, I'll finally. That was a little rough on those last ones, man. I was up to like the 3rd level, and I'm like,
the skinnies. Oh, yeah, the skinnies or something else, man. Anyway,
they're only visually skinny though. That's what like drives me wild. Is they're only visually skinny. They're still thick as far as whatever.
Where you can stand on. Yeah. I know what you mean.
And this one I just notated about damn time, more housing. Mm-hmm. Everyone rejoices. Yay! Cheers and claps. Yes.
Just gives me another shot for a mansion in Ishgard, but I'm not holding my breath because I want to relocate. That's all I want to do. I just want to relocate because I already have a mansion, but like, good luck. We'll see.
So 6 regular wards plus 6 subdivisions equals 1,800 new plots per world. Now let's see. There's 5. Right, Shirogane, Ishgard, and the 3 main cities, right? I gotta do my math. I need a calculator. What is it? 1,800 divided by 5. So 360 per city. You have a shot. You have a shot again, Hydaelyn. I might actually have a shot of getting my first.
Yeah. Are you going to go for a mansion?
I don't think I have enough gil.
No, Sag.
How much is it?
It's like 42 to 50 mil.
Ooh. I'm close. I'm like at 35, 36. I might just get medium, though. A medium's good. A medium's good.
Medium is... Dude, I have not decorated my mansion, and I think it'd probably be it'd be a lot more manageable if I had something like a medium, but... You know, anyway.
You need a higher decorator.
Problems of the wealthy. Yes, I know.
But here's the fun thing. We get 1,800 per server. Still not enough though, right?
That's never going to be enough, dude. It's never ever going to be enough. But look, the more that they add, the better off. You know, the more people that are going to make happy. So. I just don't know if everybody is going to be happy.
I think it might be enough if they had the rules in place with the FC and personal housing that are in place now at the very beginning. But yeah, it's not going to be enough right now. Did you see any talk about this being split in any way between FC and personal, or is it just all personal?
I don't know. I'm not sure. I didn't read anything about that. I know that the last one that they did, that there was too many FC ones and that they made more personal. Gotcha. Yeah, I'm not sure what they're doing with this batch of 6 wards, 6 subdivisions. I'm not sure what they're doing.
All right, well, I mean, hey, more opportunities for houses. Hopefully I'll get my medium and I'll hire a decorator and start. I mean, I have a bunch of stuff in my retainer to go into a house once I actually get one. I mean, I have some stuff in my apartment, but it's a freaking apartment for crying out loud. I kind of want to get one in Shirogane though. Yeah,
Shirogane ones are awesome.
Yeah, and that gives me a nice teleport over to that side of the world. That's cheap, so not that I have to worry about that much anymore. Now that you've shown me the way with Blue Mage and Aetheryte tickets, thank you for that.
Yes, so you're welcome. Yes.
Next, some more updates. We're going to get some flying damage techs. They're going to show markers showing what type of damage, so we don't have to guess anymore on what kind of damage we're receiving. I think this is awesome. So for those that don't know, there are 3 types of damage in the game: physical, magical, and unique. As far as
darkness damage, but yes, it's the unique.
That's what we call it, but yeah, they're calling it unique damage.
Yeah, they're officially calling it, yes. So now you can say it's
unique damage. As far as I know, unique damage can't really be mitigated
Not
normally.
Okay, it can be, but it cannot be mitigated by like Adel. It can be mitigated by like Samba, right? So like
Okay,
Samba is
so
just
stuff you put on
10%
yourself.
damage, like flat out. Like as far as I understand, as long as it says it reduces damage that you take, then it will reduce it. But if it says physical or magical, it doesn't affect the darkness damage. So,
Gotcha. Okay, so stuff like
Passage of Arms,
Passage of Arms, Dark
Caracole,
Messenger,
stuff like that.
Dark Messenger won't though, because that's magic, right?
No. Yeah, it's just magic.
Heart of Light.
Yes.
No.
Well, yeah.
Okay. So as long as it just says damage, you're good.
Yes.
Okay. And shields, of course, will still be useful.
Shield will do it.
But yeah, the fact that we're actually getting an identifier is amazing. I don't know how many times with us have been rating, hey, is this magical or physical? I don't know. Oh, I parried it. It's physical.
Did you parry it? Right. Yeah. Did you parry it? Okay, it's physical. Yeah. Use feint.
Use feint here. So the fact that we're going to have something, I mean, they did go a little bit of way when they, gave a little bit of cross functionality to both feint and Adel.
Yes.
But this just really allows us to hone in on that. So this is awesome. One thing though is that there are a lot of attacks in the game. I don't know if you knew that or not. We've got 10 years worth of different attacks.
Like there's a crap load of them. Yes.
So the goal is to get everything on this system. With the amount of attacks though, there might be a couple that are misrepresented.
Yeah, I guess we'll see. I mean, I don't know how hard it is because, I mean, obviously it's coded in the game to be either physical, magical, or unique, right? So, like, I don't know if there's some way that they can just toggle something on to be like, oh, throw this indicator on the end of the damage when it's this type of, you know what I mean? So I don't know how hard that'll be, but I guess I'm not a coder yet. So
yeah, I'm guessing the way they coded the individual abilities is you'd have to go into each ability and add that code in. So if someone accidentally adds the wrong identifier,
right?
I mean, so thousands and thousands of attacks, some are going to probably. So if you find one, folks, that is identified wrong, it's a physical attack and it's showing as magical, just let the dev team know, put in a little ticket, say, report it, just say, hey,
go to Reddit and complain and
loudly be annoying about it. Say you're going to quit the game. Everyone should join you because this one ability is labeled wrong.
No, go to do what he said. Go to the forums or submit a bump ticket or something.
That would be good. Yeah, 14 looks at the forums. Square Enix looks at the forums. So definitely put a note in there or put a ticket in, just saying, hey, help the dev team out. Don't be a troll. Mm-hmm. Time remaining for debuffs and buffs in the party list. This is awesome. More awesome quality of life.
Very excellent.
I put in the notes here. The healer in me is happy to know when taken vulns wear off. It's awesome.
That's super important. Yeah, that's probably one of the biggest ones in my opinion. So yeah, that's really great for those healers out there. Be like, oh, I know when to benediction, like right now. Yeah.
That's actually one of the things we planned during one of our fights this Savage tier is like, all right, he's gonna do home game, and I started doing a countdown because neither of us have the tank focused. So I did a countdown to 9, 8, and then we're like benediction, and I would do shield to top him off. But the fact that we could just see it now is awesome. But then the other thing that occurred to me is like, this is gonna help a lot with rating, a lot.
Oh yeah.
Like when they do a debuff spam on a mechanic, like we could just take a screenshot of that and be like, all right, you got 24, you got 8, or you got 8, 12, 16, and 20. Cachexia. Yeah. I don't have to like hound my other teammates to be like, hey, what timers did you get? Oh, I don't know. What the
exactly. Now, yeah, I think you're expanding my brain with the amount of applications for this. If you can see like the timers of debuffs, like for what are the moves in the final fight? What's that called?
Oh, high concept.
High concept, yes. Now you can see, oh, you have 8-second beta. Why aren't you over there at beta? Now you can be like,
now everyone knows you messed up. Yes, like, who messed up? I don't know. Well, you were the 8. You were the 8 beta. Why are you over here?
Right.
No, I just think it's going to be great for figuring things out and not have to like,
for sure. Yeah.
you know, because we have what, 3 people that don't use voice comms. Like now we could just take a screenshot, be like, hey, this is what we have, and formulate a plan right there and then, not have to, you know, fight with everyone else to, hey, what did you get for debuffs? What did you get for your timers? So, awesome. This is awesome.
Yeah, very
portraits will now show in more content. This is cool. I knew that they were going to expand this. It wasn't just going to be in PvP for, you know, all time. But now you'll get to see portraits of everyone that's participating in dungeons, raids, trials, and 24-man. 24-man, though, has a little caveat that because the way the alliances are set, you will only see your group of 8.
Your parties, yeah.
Yeah, your parties. It's not... The way that alliances, it's 3 groups of 8. It's not a 24-man. So... but this is cool. I'm glad they're expanding it. Really makes me now feel like I need to, you know, set up my portrait so that you know, I look cool in all this content.
For all your jobs.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to do a portrait for each job.
That's something fun to do, though. I make some goofy ones, make some cool ones. I'm excited for this.
Well, you're just gonna rotate your, you know, your plaques and stuff from your ultimates, right?
Sometimes some of those ultimate ones are tacky though, so I try to be minimal, but still show that I've done all 4. You know, you have to quad flex, but try not to be too tacky about it, right?
Quintuple flex soon, right?
Yes. Hopefully it's easier than DSR. Fingers crossed.
I like
DSR, but
I think it's going to be. It's not going to be, you know, savage. It's going to be an ultimate, but I think it's going to be... I just don't want to see it be at Ubu. I don't want them to go that far down.
Ubu's still fun, though, man. Like, Ubu is it's still challenging. I mean, both Ubu and Ukab right now, the DPS checks are just jokes. I'm not sure what T is like. I haven't gone back and done T, but I know that with...
Oh, we will.
Yeah, I'm sure. But, you know, with the level of crap increasing, it just makes the fights easier. Yeah. But I know that they did mention that not all fights are going to be as punishing as DSR. I think they specifically said that. I don't know where it was, but they said that, like, don't expect this level of difficulty for every ultimate. I think they said because, like, they've been trying to, like, up the ante, but they just can't keep doing that.
Yeah,
and so can't. Like, don't keep expecting this level, like, all the time. So I'm hoping it's a little bit more lenient, because DSR was very, very, like, everybody had to be on point. So we'll see. But I'm looking forward to it, even though that's gonna be, man, my life's gonna be busy. But I'm excited.
So yeah, I mean, you're gonna have, hopefully Savage is now permanently at 1 night a week, so that's good. I know you got a Destiny night. You're trying to do your Dark Cloud playthrough.
Trying to do streaming, trying to do my schoolwork. Yes.
Schoolwork, and then an ultimate. Like, yeah, you're going to be busy.
Job.
And a full-time job. Yes, on top of that. So please look forward to it.
Hi. Yes.
All right. To wrap things up, we're going to go through some quick miscellaneous updates that they put here. They're going to release UI theme number 3. We've got the dark theme that came out originally. Then they put out a light theme, which I think is horrid.
And they have the classic theme too. They have to remember it's
blue.
The blue. Yep.
Is that what this is going to be? Blue?
No, they've already done the classic theme. It's out.
It's out?
Yes, it is out. There are people that have that bright blue theme. It's wild.
This is UI theme number 4.
This is 4. Yes.
So what is it going to be?
I don't know. Probably something. I would think like a Final Fantasy theme of some sort. So maybe like 7 or 9. 9's pretty clean. I don't know. Could be anything. Because the classic is like Final Fantasy 1, right? It's like fucking...
You know,
bam.
With portraits and adventure plates, do you think they all will go to the point where they're attaching UI themes as rewards for like ultimates and shit?
I think that would be cool. Yeah, I think that would be cool, but I don't know if they'll do that. But
that'd be sick.
I would like... the fact that they even added a special portrait stuff for beating ultimates is like, I didn't think they would ever do that, and they did. So I wouldn't be surprised.
More reason to get them all done, right? It's just you get cool adventure plate and portrait stuff.
Exactly.
Expansion of actions with fashion accessories for everyone that likes G-pose and using those fashion accessories. Awesome. The fact that they're tied together, they really didn't think that system through when they put it in, did they?
I think they did, and it's a real shame because I would like to, I think we've had this discussion before. I say that a lot, but we talk about a lot of stuff on here. But anyway, with even something as simple as the glasses fashion accessory, there's so little you can do with just some specs on your face. And I understand, again, it's like attached to the emote system, but like, the fact that I can't like even pull out my weapon while I'm wearing a pair of glasses as a fashion accessory is crazy to me. So I don't know how far they thought about this, but hopefully they expand. They obviously are expanding, so maybe they'll make it so that there's a lot more you can do with these fashion accessories, because right now it's super limited.
Before they get too more deep, do you think they should just cut the accessories out and make it its own system so it's not
a system? Yeah, I don't know.
Before they get too much more deep into it,
right? I don't know. I guess let's see what the expansion of actions are going to be this time around, and then we can make an opinion there. Because if it's a lot of things you can do with these now, then I'll be happy. But
and I guess another thing is maybe this isn't like high priority, so this is like stuff that the dev team is doing on their own time, and not Yoshi P saying, "Hey, we need to section this off. We need to spend actual dev time,
prioritize." Right? Yeah.
So maybe it's just like that, and like how bunnies are getting hairdos, and hopefully Rothgar soon. So we'll see. Cast glamours and dye retainer equipment without removing it. Cool.
Sure. I mean, if you like pimping out your retainers, then this is a cool thing. I don't think I've dressed my retainers up for probably like 5 years, but sure.
I see my retainers once a day, so
yeah. I guess you put them out in front of your house, you can do that.
Oh,
so if you want them to look cool, but I mean that's pretty much it. So
cast glamours on your own equipment directly from retainer inventory. How's that sound?
Interesting. That's pretty cool.
That's awesome.
I mean, most of your glamour I think should be in your glamour dresser, but if it's not, then cool, you can do it from your retainer inventory now. I
mean, 800 isn't infinite, okay?
It's not infinite, but it's a lot though.
It's a lot. It's a lot. I was wondering, do you think that this is maybe the first step where we're actually, what's the word I'm looking for? It allows us to use the inventory from our retainers to maybe craft.
That would be cool.
Like, that way you're not holding a bunch of crap on yourself. Right. If you have space on your retainer, you can just put it there, and then you just have the system, look in your inventory, then look in your retainers. And if it's there, you can craft it.
Yeah, that would be cool. Something like that. Or if they added even a saddlebag to that too, is like just like an extension of your inventory, like not your main inventory, but it's like, if you have it in one of those things, then it'll just take it from there, right? I don't know. That would be really, really cool. Because, bulking up your inventory with all of those crafting materials can be really, really taxing. And, being able to just throw it all into a retainer would be really cool. So
I would love to have, like, a material bag. Like
that would be
raw material. Cool. I mean, they've differentiated between raw materials and processed materials. Why not just a bag that's strictly for raw materials, and you pick up a raw material, it goes in that bag?
Yeah, I mean, they've done that with Island Sanctuary. It's got its own inventory. So maybe they can do something like that with the materials for like actual crafting.
So much they can do. Spare no expense, Square. Do it. Yes. And then lastly, blue updates will be coming soon. Please look forward to it. And that's it.
What that level? Is that level 80? Or is it level 7?
No, that would take us up to 80. That would take us up to 80.
Up to 80? Okay.
So,
which would include
Shadowbringers.
Shadowbringers raids. Ooh boy. Those are fresh enough in my memory that I think I could pull off some blue mage kills with that, but
I don't know, man. Freaking light rampant with blue mages.
Yeah. Yeah. Just make a bow tie, bro. Is that hard?
Make a bow tie. But where do I go? I'm blue mage too. Everyone gets a role. Everyone gets a role in there anyway. So You know who's the healer, who's DPS. Well, I guess it all could be DPS. It could be 3 DPS, 1 heal. Yeah, it's all just thrown out the window at that point, right? You just got to be smart.
Any role-based mechanics in any fight when you're a blue mage is a shit show. You have to be very, very on your feet. So, yeah.
I'm almost done with all my spells. We need to get raiding done.
There, man. I want to get that Malboro mount, dude. I keep saying that, but we got to do it.
Yeah.
Bruh. Yeah.
Bruh. Ultimate first, and maybe once we have all ultimates done, we can.
I do want to do ooh at some point, so.
I know. Maybe that's the 6.5 thing we do is ooh.
Could be.
We don't have to go as hard as a new ultimate, you know.
Right.
And it's ooh, so two nights a week, We'll talk about that later.
Yeah.
Anyways, that is it for the live letter, and as for us, that is it for our show. I know my boy Piers has to head off to the day job, so without further ado, Piers, where can people find you?
Well, as you can see below my face, I know I'm a little blurry right now, and I got some shining things. I'm sorry about this.
You're a shiny Pokemon.
We don't normally do shows around it. I didn't realize that the sun was going to be right in my face. But anyway, you can find me on Twitch at radio_Piers. Like we were talking about just a few moments ago, I've been trying to stream Dark Cloud, specifically Dark Cloud 2 on Sundays. But I did just start school. I didn't just start school. It's been like a month now. But I've been doing my schoolwork and unfortunately being procrastinating and doing all my schoolwork on Sundays, which has taken up all my screen time. So I'm trying to be better about that and spread my work out throughout the week so I can start streaming again. So come hang out with me on Sundays. I don't have a Twitter yet. I don't have a YouTube yet. Well, I technically do, but I don't use it for anything other than posting some clips here and there. So find me on Twitch or on Final Fantasy. Piers Harvey on Leviathan server on the Primal Data Center. You can data center travel now. There's no excuse to come hang out with your boy. Let's do something. Let's hang out. Let's do a dungeon. Let's chat. And that's where you can find me. But how about you, my man, Tarkoth Solo? Where can they find you?
Oh, if you want to find me in Final Fantasy 14, you can find me on the Excalibur server on the Primal Data Center, Tarkoth Solo. God, I'm doing so much stuff. I have myself spread way too thin as well. I'm trying to do Diofield Chronicle on YouTube on chapter 4 there, so getting close to halfway. Even on hard mode, it's really not that hard. But it's been fun. I like a good tactical RPG. So check that out there. Been playing God of War. Going through the whole series, and I really need to go hardcore on that because Crisis Core comes out next month, and I need to be ready for that. So I got to blow through some God of War, so I'm caught up to at least the current generation because I have not played, the 2018 God of War or the new one. So I want to get into it. I know you've been having a blast with God of War. Doing Destiny now, Monday nights. Going to be doing some tonight as well. So if you like some pew pew and want to see Tark fail at shooting things in the head, tune in for that. But yeah, Twitch, Twitter, YouTube, all at Tarkoth Gaming. And until next time, y'all take care of yourselves. Stay safe. And remember,
Master Control oversees all on the grid. End of line.
Bye, guys.